guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. I'm Blake Myers. This week is Coyote hunting tip number 1. This is a little bit of a spin-off from the earlier video that I made called Coyote Hunting Equipment. That kind of just gave you a brief breakdown of the vast majority of the equipment that we use. And I've kind of had a bunch of requests from some of the followers and some of the guys that's been on here liking our videos, and they really want us to go into more detail about some of the stuff that we do. And to get started, I'm just going to start talking about really the first thing I started talking about in my previous video, and that's just how to gain more hunting property in your hometown. It doesn't have to be your hometown, but from my experience, all the places that I hunt are in the county that I live in, and this is really the method that I go through to gain more property, to have more chances to hunt on the weekends. So to get started, the best piece of advice that I can give you guys is to have written documentation. And when I say written documentation, I really don't mean just a statement saying, will you let me hunt on your property, check yes or no. I go into a little bit more detail whenever I introduce a piece of documentation to a landowner. For example, as I showed in the previous video, right here is just an example. On the back of this permission form I have right here, it states, after each date is signed, the hunting permission will be valid for a total of 1 year from the last date that has been approved by the landowner. By signing this permission form, the landowner shall not be held liable for any injuries that may happen while I am on your property. Any damages that I cause to the property, cattle, property, fence, etc., I will be held liable for these damages. Now, the reason that I put that on there is the majority of these places that I hunt in this county are cattle farmers. And I know a lot of y'all guys that are out west or up north. Cattle farmers are going to be the biggest landowners from where y'all are from. And this little slip of paper right here that says that if you were to shoot a cow or break into their property, that you're going to pay for it and fix it, is the ticket into their property. I guarantee it. I don't know how many people tell me, like, how do you get all these places to hunt? I go and I knock on the door, and they ask me what kind of documentation they have, and I just say that I have a yes or no question for them, and it doesn't really get them anywhere. This right here will get you onto more properties than you can even imagine. And on the other side, I've got several different spaces that has the sentence I blank, which was where the landowner would sign their name, give Blake Myers, which is me, permission to coyote hunt on my property. And then I have several different date spaces on there. The reason I put different date spaces on there is because the majority of these properties that I hunt, I get access to them year after year after year after year, and I don't want to have to keep printing up a same sheet of paper every time, where I can just go back to their property the following year, and all I have to do is just get them to put the date down, and then I'm valid for another year from that time. And as you can see, I've got a whole sheet of paper right here from top to bottom. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and there's 16 on this side, and they are both completely filled up, not counting some of the individual written permission slips that I have down here in my packet that I keep on me at all times. This right here is one of the biggest keys to get onto anybody's property that I can tell you to go about. The second thing that I can tell y'all to do is whenever you're going and you're talking to these people or you're knocking on doors, is do not go and knock on their door and be dressed in full camouflage, muck boots, duck boots, whatever you have on. Actually take the time to dress up, put some khaki pants on, put a button-up shirt on. I'm not saying you have to wear a suit and tie to go to these people's house, but at least make yourself look presentable whenever they open the door and see you. You don't want to look like Rambo standing on their front porch. Make yourself look presentable. Wear some nice shoes, khaki pants, button-up shirt. Just dress somewhat nice. This helps the approach be a little bit more, a little easier, and helps them kind of let their guard down and trust you a little bit better. A lot of the places that I have, I never knew these people when I went and knocked on their door, and I always take the time whenever I spend a whole day going and knocking on doors. I take the time to actually put some decent clothes on and make myself look presentable. Clean shaven. You don't want to look like you're going to be a guy who's going to be a threat. I know it's bad to judge people from their looks, but first impression is the #1 thing that gets you onto a property. And guys, this is really the biggest most helpful thing I can tell y'all to help y'all get on the new properties. Dress nice, have documentation, basically state that if you mess anything up on their property that they're not going to have to pay for it, you're going to have to pay for it, and it just helps the landowners get a little bit more at ease. It's just one of the nicest things that you can do. And once you start getting your baseline built with some of these big time cattle farmers like I have in this county, use those people as references. Whenever they give you permission, ask them, say, I'm going and I'm knocking on doors today. Do you mind if I go and knock on a couple of doors and they ask for a reference? Can I tell them to give you a call at this number and kind of reference me to tell them, hey, this guy's not going to mess with any of your cattle. He's not going to steal or break any of your stuff. He's a really good, trustworthy guy. I definitely think you should let him onto your property. And majority of the time, if you treat these people's property with respect, just like you would treat your own property, and try to leave it better than you found it, these people are going to have no problem letting these other landowners give them a call and giving you a good recommendation. And you will get 5 times more pieces of property to hunt, and will set you up for more coyotes, more fox, and more bobcats during your predator hunting season. And guys, that's all I have for the coyote hunting tip #1. I cannot thank y'all enough for watching Southern Extreme TV. It means a lot for y'all getting on here and commenting with all the positive feedback and liking our page. Guys, remember to subscribe to us and just keep watching, and thank y'all so much. Southern Extreme TV, thank y'all for watching.